everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video we're going to learn how to automatically enroll students in courses based on Google Forms test result. So I am an owner of an online learning platform and I provide various courses to my students on various different skill levels like beginners and advanced. I have created a quiz using Google Forms and I want that as soon as any of my students participates in the quiz that I have created using Google Forms, automatically that student should be enrolled to the course that I have created in my Zenler account according to the marks that they have scored in the test. And for that, if I'm going to do this manually, this is going to take me a lot of time. So what I did was, I simply created an automation using Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. So here in this automation, what is going to happen, that as my students are going to do the new form submission, that means as my students are going to participate in the quiz that I've created using Google Forms and they're going to submit the form, automatically according to the marks they have scored, they are going to be enrolled to the course that I've created in my Zenler account. And for that, we are going to create an automation between Google Forms and Zenler with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you want to learn about this amazing automation, then let me take you all to my screen.
Welcome to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to enroll students to different courses based on results. Consider an online learning platform that offers multiple courses across various skill levels such as beginners, intermediate and advanced. After students complete an assignment that we have created with the help of Google Forms, the platform automatically evaluates their results. Depending on their performance, the students are enrolled in the appropriate course. Those who score high may be enrolled in the advanced course, while those who need more foundation knowledge are placed in the beginner's course. This automation helps in tailoring the learning journey of individual needs, ensuring that each student gets the most suitable education pathway without manual intervention. This also allows educators to focus more on delivering quality content rather than managing administrative logistics. And we are going to be creating this amazing automation with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear which is asking for a workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the workflow name, I'm going to give it as Enroll Students to Different Courses Based on Results. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. Okay. Next, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click right over here. So these are the folders from which I'm going to select Automations for LMS as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving a name to our workflow and selecting the folder, let's click on Create in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Enroll Students to Different Courses Based on Results, and there are 2 windows in front of you. One over here says Trigger, other says Action. Trigger and Action are the 2 most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these 2 concepts. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We're going to set up our trigger step. For that, click right over here. And for the trigger application, I'm going to select it as Google Forms. As with the help of Google Forms, I have created a quiz and I want that as soon as any of the students are going to do this quiz and going to participate in the quiz, according to that, I'm going to enroll them to the courses that I've created in my Zenler account. Okay, so that is why for the trigger application, I've selected as Google Forms, and for the trigger event, I'm going to select as new response received, as when the quiz is going to be attended by any of my students and they're going to submit this form, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response. Okay, then you can see that after selecting selecting the trigger application and the event, Pabbly Connect has provided us with the webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we're going to connect Google Forms to Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to copy this URL from here, and then I'm going to follow the steps given below in the help desk to connect Google Forms to Pabbly Connect. To connect Google Forms with Pabbly Connect, I'm going to open the form that I've created. So this is the form that I've created in the name of PHP Programming Quiz, and I want that as soon as any of my students are going to participate by attending this quiz right over here, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response whenever they are going to do the form submission. Okay, so now to connect this form to Pabbly Connect, for that you click on this responses button right over here. Under responses over here it says link to sheets. We are going to click on it. A new dialog box is going to appear which is asking for us to select the destination for responses. So whenever a new response is going to be submitted by any of my students using this form that I've created, automatically where is the location where all the responses are going to be saved. For that we are going to connect this form to Google Sheets directly. Okay, over here it is asking for two options: create a new spreadsheet or select the existing spreadsheet. I want to create a new spreadsheet, so I'm going to click on this create button. Okay, as you can see that this is the spreadsheet that has been created that is directly linked to this form that we have created right over here. So whenever a new response is going to be submitted by any of my students where they're going to attend this quiz with the help of this form, automatically all the responses of that form is going to be captured in the spreadsheet. Over here you can see it has the fields which is timestamp, email, score, first name, last name, phone number, with the 5 questions that I'm asking right over here. You can see these are the 5 questions that I've asked in this quiz. You can see right over here. Okay, so whenever they're going to answer any of the questions in the quiz, automatically then this Google Sheets is going to capture the response. So what we are going to do is we are going to connect our Pabbly Connect to this spreadsheet right away, so that whenever a new response is going to be captured in the spreadsheet, automatically it is going to send the data to Pabbly Connect. So to connect this spreadsheet to Pabbly Connect, from this bar you have to click on this extensions button. Under extension it says add-ons, and then you have to select get add-ons. Then a new window is going to appear in front of you, on which on the search bar we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. We are going to select Pabbly Connect Webhooks. I'm going to click on it. As you can see that I've already installed Pabbly Connect Webhooks, so I'm going to move forward. But if you have not installed Pabbly Connect Webhooks, please do install it, so that connecting Pabbly Connect with this Google Sheets is going to happen. Okay, so I have already installed Pabbly Connect Webhooks, so I'm going to move back. We have to click on extensions again, and now under the options you will be able to see Pabbly Connect Webhooks. We are going to select it. From these options you have to click on this initial setup button. As we are going to do that, this new dialog box is then going to appear which is asking for the webhook URL and the trigger column. So I'm going to show you one thing. So this is the last column of the spreadsheet right over here. I'm going to click on this initial setup button again. For the webhook URL, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. And then for the trigger column, it says the trigger column will be your final data column on which of the data is added. So in the spreadsheet, you can see this is the last column, column K. And in this column, my final data is going to be added. I want that as soon as the data is going to be added in this column, automatically Google Sheets should send the response to Pabbly Connect. So our trigger column is going to be column K. Okay. After pasting the webhook URL and selecting the trigger column, we have to click on this submit button. As we have done that, you can see it says setup configured successfully. That means the webhook is now been added successfully in this spreadsheet. Okay, I'm going to go back to extensions and Pabbly Connect webhooks. Now from these options, you have to click on this send on event button. As over here it says working. It is very important to click on send on event. I'm going to go back to extensions again and Pabbly Connect webhooks. You can see a tick mark is in front of send on event. It is very important because whenever a new response is going to be captured in the spreadsheet, automatically the spreadsheet is going to send that data to Pabbly Connect. That is why it is very important to click on send on event. So please do not forget to do that. Okay, if I'm going to take you back to my workflow over here, now it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now what we are going to do is we are going to do a dummy submission of the form that we have created using Google Forms, and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the form submission being done or not. And for that I'm going to do the form submission. So this is the form that I've created, and to do the form submission I'm going to click on this preview button right over here. As you can see that this is the form that I've created, and now we're going to do the form submission. This is the form PHP Programming Quiz, and we're going to attend this quiz. Okay, for the email I'm going to turn on this bracket. Next it is asking for the first name. So for the first name over here I'm going to write it as test. For the last name over here I'm going to write it as user234. Okay, for the phone number I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. Next, it is asking these 5 questions, and all of these questions are of 1 points. You can see right away 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, and 1 point. So I'm going to attend all of these questions. First, it's asking what does PHP stand for. I'm going to select this option. Which symbol is used for declare a variable in PHP. I'm going to select this. How do you include file in PHP. I'm going to select this option. What is the correct way to end a PHP statement. I'm going to select this. And how you can output text on the browser in PHP. I'm going to select it both A and B, and then I'm going to do the submission by click on the submit button. As you can see now, it says a response has been recorded. As the response has been recorded, I'm going to open my spreadsheet. And yes, in the spreadsheet you can see right over here the response is successfully recorded in this spreadsheet, as you can see right over here. Okay, so this is the response that has been captured in this spreadsheet. You can see with all the details, the score is 5 out of 5. The name of the student is right over here with the phone number, the answers of the questions that the student have submitted, you can see, and the score comes over here as 5 on 5 of this student right over here. So as now the form submission is done, I'm going to open my workflow and I'm going to scroll down, and yes, you can see right over here we have received a response. Okay, we're going to tally the response. This is the answer of the questions that my students have done the submission of. You can see right over here. Okay, we're going to tally the response of our students. The score comes over here as 5 on 5. For the last name of our student comes over here as user234, first name as test, email as testuser234@pablitudes.com with all the other details like the phone number and the answers of the questions. So this means that Google Forms is now successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and a trigger setup is done. So now whenever a new form submission is going to be done by any of my students of the quiz that I've created, automatically Pabbly Connect is then going to capture the response of the new form submission being done. Okay, as we have connected Google Forms to Pabbly Connect, that means our trigger setup is done. Now as our objective is that according to the score that my students have scored in this quiz, I want to enroll that students in the different courses that I have created with the help of Zenler. So in my Zenler account, I have created 2 courses, that is the advanced PHP programming course as well as the PHP course for beginners. I want that if the students are going to score less than 3 in the quiz that I've created, they should be enrolled in this PHP course for beginners course that I've created. Okay, and if the students are going to score more than 3 in the quiz, they should be enrolled in this course advanced PHP programming. Okay, so as we are now going to enroll the students in these 2 courses according to the condition that we want, we are going to set up our action step. And for the action application, we are going to select it as Router by Pabbly. Router helps us to conditionally run this workflow according to our requirements. Okay, and for the action event, I'm going to select as conditionally run, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. As we're going to click on connect, you can see the route 1 and the route 2 is provided to us. We are going to set up these routes right over here according to the conditions that we want to apply in this workflow. So let us set it up this route. For that, click on the set filter and action steps button. As we are going to do that, the route 1 is then going to appear. In the route 1, firstly it is asking for us to set up a filter. As now we want to conditionally run this workflow, we need to set up some filters in order to do that. Okay, so that is why for the route 1 we have to firstly set up a filter. As the conditions that we want to apply in this workflow is, if the students are going to score more than 3, then the student should be enrolled in the advanced PHP course in our Zenler account. But if the student is going to score less than 3, they should be enrolled in the PHP course for beginners that I've created in my Zenler account. So we're going to set up our filter according to our requirements now. As now we're going to set up this filter. As for the select label, I'm going to select the score that my student have got. You can see the score. I've selected the label of the score right over here. For the filter type, I want that whenever the score is going to be greater than 3, then the student should be enrolled in this course advanced PHP programming. So that is why for the label I've selected it as score is then going to be greater than 3. They should be advanced in our Zenler account for the course advanced PHP for programming. Okay, so this is the filter right over here. As I've done that, I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. So now this route 1 is only going to work whenever the score is going to be greater than 3. Okay, as you've clicked on the save and send test request button, the status comes over here as success success, and the message comes as condition is true, because over here student has scored more than 3. That is why the status and the condition is coming as true and success right over here. Okay, so our filter setup is now been done. This route 1 is now only going to work under the condition of whenever a student is going to score more than 3 in their quiz, then this route 1 is then going to be initiated. Okay, after setting up our filter, as I want that our student should now be in this course advanced PHP programming right over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now set up our action step, and for the action application I'm going to select it as Zenler. As with the help of Zenler I'm managing all of my courses, and I want to enroll the student who have done the quiz, who have participated in the quiz, in the course that I've created in my Zenler account. For the action event I'm going to select it as enroll user to a course. Now we're going to enroll this user to a course in our advanced PHP programming. Okay, after selecting our action application and the event, let's click on this connect button. A new window is going to appear on which click on add new connection, but if you want you can select the existing connection. Over here it is asking for the API key and the school and the account to connect Zenler to Pabbly Connect. For the API key you have to copy this URL from here first. So I'm going to copy this URL from this help desk over here and paste it over here. Okay, it says that in place of this curly bracket school name we have to enter the school name that we have. I have the school name in the name of Pabbly. You can see right over here this is my school name Pabbly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this from here and I'm going to paste this right over here, and then I'm going to click on this enter button. As I'm going to do that, you can see that we have received the API key that Pabbly Connect is asking for. So I'm going to copy this API key from here and paste this API key in my Pabbly Connect right over here. And for the school name over here, I've already told you our school name is Pabbly. So I'm going to copy this from here and I'm going to paste the school name right over here. Okay, and then I'm going to click on the save button. As you can see that Zenler is now connected to Pabbly Connect. Over here it is asking for us to enter the course ID. As I want this filter is set up for the students who have scored more than 3. The student should be enrolled in the course Advanced PHP Programming. So what I'm going to do is for the course ID from these given options, I'm going to select the Advanced PHP Programming course, as I want to enroll this student in this course right away as they have scored more than 3 in the quiz that we have created. So I've entered the course over here. It is asking for the course plan ID. I don't have the course plan ID, so I'm going to skip the part, but if you want to enter a course plan ID, over here to follow the help desk given over here. Okay, next it is asking for the email address. For the email address it is asking for the email address of the user that we want to enroll to the course that we have created. And for the email address what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous steps, and we are going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, you can see these were the previous step of this workflow, and as I'm going to click on this Google form response, you can see this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. In the response we have received the email address of our student. You can see right over here. I'm going to select the data from my previous response right over here. As I've selected the data is mapped, and as I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be in place of this map data right over here. Okay, it is asking for the first name, so I'm going to map the data of the first name of my student from here. Similarly for the last name, I'm going to map the data of the last name of my student. Okay, after filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. As I've done that, you can see over here we have received the response. The status comes over here as success, and over here it says the user is enrolled to the course successfully with no plan. So this is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my course that I've created using Zenler, that is Advanced PHP Programming, and I'm going to check whether a new user in the name of testuser234 with the email address as testuser234@pabblytuts.com has been created or not. For that I'm going to open my course that I've created. I'm going to open the students section of this course. And yes, you can see right over here, new student in the name of testuser234 with the email as testuser234@pabblytuts.com is successfully enrolled to the course Advanced PHP Programming, as you can see right over here in our Zenler account. So this means that we successfully done our route 1. We successfully set up our route 1 right over here. So whenever, according to the filter, the student is going to score more than 3 in the quiz that we have created, automatically they will be enrolled to the course Advanced PHP for Programming right over here. Okay, I'm going to close this route 1. I'm going to give a name to this route 1 right over here, and that is going to be advanced PHP programming. This is the route that I've created, the route 1. I'm going to update this. So the name of this route is advanced PHP for programming because this is the route 1 I've created. Okay. Now we're going to set up our second route. You can create your route 2 from the top to bottom again, but what I'm going to do is we are going to make this process much easier, but just by cloning the route that we have created before. Okay, so I'm going to clone this route. I'm going to give a name to this route again, and the name that I want to give is as PHP course for beginners. As now when the students are going to score less than 3 in the quiz, they will be enrolled to the course PHP course for beginners. So I'm going to rename this course over here as PHP course for beginners. Now I'm going to set up this route. As you can see that this route is already been set up right over here. We are going to just make few changes as we have cloned this route. Okay, so firstly we're going to make changes in our filter, and as now our condition is whenever the score is going to be less than 3, then this route 2 should be applied. Okay, it should be initiated when the score is going to be less than 3. Okay, as now the score is more than 3, so over here as I'm going to click on the save and send test request button, the condition is going to come as false and the error is going to be there in the status. As over here in the response, the score is more than 3. Okay, it's 5 right over here, which is more than 3. That is why the message comes over here as condition is false. But when the student is going to score less than 3, then the condition is going to come as true and the status is going to come over here as success. Okay, so we have successfully made changes in the filter that we have created. Now what we want is we want to enroll the student who have scored less than 3 in the quiz in our course PHP course for beginners. So we're going to make the changes in this Zenler step as well right over here. Now we want to enroll the students in the course PHP course for beginners. I'm going to refresh this field from here. So these are the course and I want to enroll the student in this course PHP course for beginners. So I'm going to select the course right over here. I'm going to leave the course plan ID as doesn't require the field. I'm going to leave these steps, the email address, first name and last name as it is right over here. And now over here it says save and send test request button. As I'm going to click on this button, this student in the name of test user 234 is again going to be enrolled in this course PHP for beginners, PHP course for beginners. As I'm going to click on the save and send test request button, as the test is then going to happen, but I don't want to enroll the student again in a different course, that is PHP course for beginners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply click on this save button to save all the changes that I've created. Okay, so this route 2 is successfully set up now. So whenever the student is going to score less than 3 in the quiz, they are going to be enrolled to the course PHP course for beginners. Okay, so as I've done that, I'm going to close this. I'm going to delete this route 2 as I don't require the field, so I'm going to delete this over here. Okay, so both of our routes are now been successfully set up in this workflow. Now we're going to test this conditions that we have created by attending the quiz that we have created. So I'm going to open the form that I've created. I'm going to click on this preview button again. You can see this is the quiz that I've created, that is PHP programming quiz, and now I'm going to attend the quiz from here. It is asking for the details of my student. I'm going to write in the details. I've answered all the questions, the first name as Smart, last name as Person 89 for the phone number, dummy mobile number, and I've answered all the questions right over here. And then I'm going to click on the submit button to do the test submission. It says your response has been recorded. Okay, so I'm going to open my spreadsheet now. In the spreadsheet, you can see that the student has scored equal to 3 right over here. That is, we have received the response of a student as 3 right over here for the Smart Person. So now I'm going to open my Zenler and I'm going to check whether over here the student is enrolled to our course or not. For that, I'm going to open my Zenler. So under this advanced PHP programming course, you can see right over here, a new student has been enrolled in the name of Smart Person 89 with the email address right over here, and the student is successfully enrolled to our course that we have created. So this means that the student is successfully enrolled to the course that we have created in our Zenler account. As the student has scored equal to 3, that means they have been enrolled to this advanced PHP course. And you can see that this student has not been enrolled in our course, that is PHP course for beginners. You can see right over here, the student Smart Person 234 is not been enrolled in this right over here, in this course right over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another test submission. I'm going to do another participation of this form that I've created. I'm going to click on this preview button. I'm going to attend this quiz again. I'm going to write in the details of my student right over here. As you can see that I've filled in the details. So the first name as student, last name as dummy67, phone number or dummy mobile number. For the answers, so we have written all the answers. I'm going to click on submit to do the test submission. It says the response has been recorded. I'm going to open my spreadsheet. In this spreadsheet, you can see right away the students student dummy 6-7 is been scored 2 out of 5 in the quiz that we have created. Okay, so now I'm going to open my PHP course for beginners, as over here the student has scored less than 3 right over here, and I'm going to check whether a new student has been enrolled in the name of student dummy 6-7 or not. For that, I'm going to open the students list of my PHP course for beginners. I'm going to refresh this page from here. And yes, after refreshing the page, you can see right over here a new student in the name of student user 67 with the email address as studentuser67@pablitudes.com is been enrolled into the course PHP course for beginners. As the student has scored less than 3, you can see right over here is now been enrolled to the course that is PHP course for beginners in our Zenler account. So this means that is successfully created an automation between Google Forms and Zenler with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, consider an online learning platform that offers multiple courses across various skill levels such as beginners, intermediate and advanced. We wanted that as soon as any of our students attends a quiz that we have created using Google Forms, and if they score less than 3 out of 5 in the quiz, they should be enrolled to the course that we have created in our Zenler account, that is PHP course for beginners. And if the students are going to score more than 3 in the quiz that we have created using Google Forms, those students should be enrolled on the course Advanced PHP Programming, as they have scored more than 3 in the quiz that we have created. And for that, we have created this amazing automation between Google Forms and Zenler with the help of Pabbly Connect, and this is how you create this amazing automation. So if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.
Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.